Hi there. My name is Steve Stein. I'm the founder of BetterListen.com, the host of the Surfing the Tsunami of Change Summit Series, and most recently, Wisdom Feed Plus, a new membership that we're building, community to support people in these uncertain times. The reason why I'm here tonight is to talk about a dear friend who recently passed away. Robert Bly won the National Book Award for Poetry, Harvard trained. First time I recorded him was in the 80s when he spoke at the New York Open Center at the beautiful Friends, I think it was the Friends, the Quaker House, not Union Square, but in the West Village. Amazing day. He gave a lecture about his book called A Little Book on the Human Shadow. I want to paraphrase the story that he talks about. When a kid is born, he's 360 degrees of radiant light. Then his mother sees him going close to the stove. Watch your hand. Then he goes to kindergarten and they say, stand straight, don't talk. And then by the time he's third or fourth grade, the 360 degrees is down to 270. But where does that light go? That light goes, he talks about, in a bag. So you take that bag and you throw it. You take that light and you throw it in the bag. By the time you're 20 years old, with so many rules and regulations in life, you're down to maybe 80 or 90% light, and all that light is in the bag. And the bag is 200 pounds and 5 miles long. That's the metaphor he uses for the human shadow. And it's a dark subject, but I love the way he just breaks it down into street smart, normal, everyday wisdom. So I'm just going to give you a little tour. This is one of the first cassettes we released. Earlier incarnation of my company was Sound Horizons. Yes, that's cassettes, if people don't know what that is. And we sold a bunch of these. Just great to get this kind of message out. Moving forward, then as years went by, let's back up. Then after a few years, we're doing all the recording at the Open Center. I saw Deborah Tannen had just had a New York Times bestselling book, and Robert, I was recording a lot of Robert's lectures, and Robert mentioned her. So I called Ralph White at the Open Center, and I said, Ralph, we should get them to speak together. And back and forth, it happened. And it was an amazing event at, where is it? At the hall where Abraham Lincoln gave his address down in Cooper Union. Amazing event. A little bit challenging to produce a video, but we produced a video. It was on PBS with the support of the Open Center and Robert Bly and Deborah Tannen. And here's a video. We need to digitize it and get it out again. The audio version of that won a starred review in Publishers Weekly, and it was and we're going to give away the audio of this for free in tribute to Robert. Just an amazing, I can't do justice to the paraphrasing it, so I'll spare you that. But this was written up in the New York Times. It was a featured article in the New York Times that came out of that. And then for years after that, I recorded all of the men's conferences. The east side of the country. Rick Shalou and another Rich, the other Rich. He recorded most of the ones on the West Coast. But it was incredible. Murphy Brown, the TV show, made fun of the banging on drums in the woods, but it was real. And I remember recording sessions where there was 4, 5, 6, 700 people in the room, only men. And there was no ill will towards women, men, anyone, but it was just remarkable when only men, how things open up. And that opening up, and he was a poet, and he's a wonderful poet. And we're going to give away also I forget the title of it, but there is an audiobook that we'll be giving away, also, The Educated Heart. So those two titles we'll be giving away free. I was an evergreen poet when I went to Evergreen State College, and I did no poetry. Poetry, I went back into the real world, and I stopped poetry and stopped my soul work. I didn't realize I was doing soul work. I was just writing poetry. So recording all those men's conferences was soul work, and it reintroduced me to poetry, to moving, relevant poetry. And I'm not going to bore you with a poem, but I will share this one thing with you. So I had the great good fortune to record a lot of those men's conferences with Robert Bly, James Hillman, who, if it wasn't for James, I would not have met my wife and had my beautiful teenage boys. So shout out to James and Robert and Michael Mead. The three of them were just doing some phenomenal work, and other people, John Lee, who we thankfully still work with. So good old Robert has passed, and I just this is a book. I remember that when they were working on it, when it came in Santa Fe, I recorded a men's workshop in Santa Fe. And I just wanted to share that they did do book signings subsequently with the three of them, but I am the first person to have a copy of this book signed by all three. I had done, I think it was a workshop somewhere in the Midwest with Michael and James did a workshop together. And then we flew together, and they did something together with Robert Bly. But I had a copy of the book signed by both of them in the first stop of the recording, and then in the first place we recorded the workshop. And then when we got off, I had a copy of the book, and I had Robert sign a copy. So let's see. Michael Mead, may your ears hear the song your heart sings. To Steve, let's go to more festival for the ears. Robert Bly. For Steve, from Mensch to Mensch, in the South too, from James Hillman. Oh, Hanover College, 1992. Woo! Thanks for dating that. And someone else from the Kansas City Men's Workshop. Not sure who signed it. But there it is. Always proud to have this. Love the book. Great anthology of moving poetry. Anywho, that's my trip down memory lane with Robert. He was a great friend, an amazing gift, an amazing giver and sharer of soul. And I hope to meet him again for Festivals of the Ear sometime soon. Rest in peace, Robert. Peace.